Well, hello again. Welcome to another edition of CropLife Retail Week. Paul Schrimpf here with Eric Sfiligoj. How you doing, sir?
I am good, sir. So you're continuing your tour of the building at Meister, which none of us work in anymore, but it's nice to see that somebody still shows up once in a while.
Well, as I said, I got, three of these left. So I wanted to, kind of give people an experience. If you hear a little humming, you get the Meister experience of getting the blower all season long. Anyway, so, I'm in the terrace, what we call the terrace room, or which is essentially what most companies will call a cafeteria, but we have our eating area behind us. Behind the camera is where most of us sit for lunch and, and socialize and so forth. Lots of memories here. We have Christmas events and breakfast, and some of our awards recognition is happening here as well. But of course, behind me, we have our festive Christmas penguin. Our company does have an affinity for penguins. This one's named Fred, and is greeting us through the Christmas season. Our inflatable penguin for probably 10 years or so. It's been around. So
At least, yeah. I seem to recall it being out in our courtyard almost every year I've worked there. So that'd be closer to 20 years, I think.
yeah, it's been a lot. It wasn't from the beginning since I started, but it's been up for quite a while. Since really inflatables had they've had their heyday in terms of Christmas decorations around houses.
Yeah, and Paul, you can't see it, but our leaf blower guy is right behind you over.
There he is.
It's a lot different than when you get the parrot on your shoulder, when you get the leaf blower guy on your shoulder. But all right, I like the special effect.
I have two Meister things right here. And then the third one is actually Meister, we call Meister Acres, which I'm kind of pointing to over here. But essentially, those were apple trees that were donated to Dick Meister, one of the patriarchs of the company. He set them up over here from Cornell University, where Dick Meister went to school. And so we've had these up for, for as long as the building's been up. And in the fall, when people are actually here, Gene, the blower guy, will go and pick apples and put a big basket of apples out for us to eat during the season, which is always a nice treat. Usually it's a treat. Sometimes it's a trick, because you do get the apples that are like, whoa, that's bitter, occasionally, but generally all edible and pretty good. And it's that was a nice tradition for a long, long time. So, again, a lot of amazing memories here, and a couple of the really interesting things about Meister that's made it fun and a joy to work here over the years. So thought I'd share that. And now I'll turn it back over to you. Maybe we have some actual real news happening.
Well, we do a little bit, Paul. So anyhow, I know last week, of course, when I did the video with you, I was in San Antonio at the Agricultural Retailers Association meeting. I know when we were on video, I had guesstimated that there were about 600 attendees at that event. The final attendance number came my way a little later after our video appeared last week, and happy to report that I was pretty close. It was actually 609 was the final attendance number. So it's nice to know that all those years standing in lines at the DMV, I've been able to guesstimate crowds pretty well, standing in food lines at the ARA show. As I mentioned last week, of course, a lot of hardware was handed out at the event. We had our friends Ann Sheedy and Meg Stewart from AGI Fertilizer got distinguished service awards. The Jack Ebersbacher Award went to our friend Alex McGregor, the patriarch of the McGregor Company. And actually, we handed out our own little piece of hardware. The CropLife Iron Product of the Year Award went to our friends at AGCO for their Fendt Rogator. And here's a little clip of me handing that award off. Hello, this is Eric Sfiligoj, editor of CropLife Iron Magazine, here today with
Greg Pumo
from AGCO. And I'm here at the 2021 Agricultural Retailer Association meeting presenting the CropLife Iron Product of the Year Award to AGCO for their Fendt Rogator. Greg, congratulations on behalf of the readers of CropLife Iron Magazine.
Thanks, Eric.
How does it feel to be the winner of the award for 2021 for the Fendt Rogator?
It's an honor. It's an honor to get this award, Eric. It feels great.
Very good. So if you could share with our viewers a little bit about some of the key features that make the Fendt Rogator such a special product for the marketplace.
Yeah, Eric, I think it's an all-season machine. It's versatile, no doubt. It is two-position clearance, so you can go from 56 to 76 inches depending on model. And we believe it can be disruptive.
Very good. Well, again, on behalf of all the readers of CropLife Iron Magazine and us here at CropLife, we congratulate AGCO on winning the Product of the Year for CropLife Iron for 2021.
Thanks, Eric.
So there you go. There's a little video, Paul, from the ARA show of me handing out our own hardware for CropLife Iron to AGCO. I know they were very pleased. They put out a press release, and I'm sure that when you visit the company during the winter trade shows, that hopefully the hardware will be on display in front of their front row gator.
Yeah, it was a really terrific group of winners. I saw those coming through the office from ARA on LinkedIn and other social media. So sorry to miss all those folks, particularly sorry to miss Alex. I haven't seen Alex McGregor in some time, but he's just one of those guys when you meet him and you talk to him and he talks about the industry and about his company that, if you work for him, you'd be willing to run through a brick wall for him. He had that kind of, get you excited about your place in the industry, what you were doing, and what you could do to contribute to the company, to the industry, and really just a terrific guy. So it was great to see him get the achievement award and for McGregor to get further honors.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, his son Ian, who is the current president of the McGregor Company, was named the ARA chairman, taking over from Rod Wells from Gromart. So again, that was another bit of hardware that was handed off between the gentlemen at the event. So, all right. Well, a couple other things to share with us. I know, Paul, we've talked a lot about how well U.S. exports of crops have been doing here in 2021. And, of course, we talk a lot about China. We talked a lot about Mexico. Those are two of the bigger markets for U.S. crops from going overseas. But the U.S. Grain Council points out that in the last year, we've actually seen some big demand from our friends in Egypt as well. For the year, U.S. corn exports to Egypt have grown 830%. To 17.7 million bushels. So I guess there's some weather issues going on over in Egypt, which means that the corn they're trying to produce internally is not coming out as well as it should. So they've turned to buying corn from other countries, and the U.S. is one of them. So like I say, the U.S. Grain Council says keep an eye on them going into 22 as well.
Excellent. Great to always have great to have more diversity in our customer base rather than just our usual. And it's unfortunate they're having problems with the crop, but great that we can step in and help them out. So that's good news.
Yes. So now, Paul, of course, time for your favorite segment, since I only get to do this with you a couple more times. It is time for Fun with Numbers.
Awesome. So maybe you could ask the penguin this time, see if he actually. So
I don't know if the penguin's going to know this, because this I got to admit, when I found this number, it's a very tricky number. I'm hoping my clue will give you some hint, but I have a feeling this one may even be beyond, because it would be one that would stump me. But your number, I'm sorry, Paul. Your number this week is 116. And that's just 116. It's not a dollar amount or a tonnage amount or a percentage. It's 116. And your clue is U.S. growers. So what do you think 116, just the number by itself, not a dollar amount or a percentage, might represent?
You've got to be kidding me.
I know. I said when I found this one, I'm like, boy, this is like the hardest number I'm going to hit Paul with, but I only get to do this a few more times. So what the heck?
It's about how many miles I'm going to drive to Columbus this weekend to see my. How about that? That's an accurate number.
It is an accurate number, but there's a buzzer again in your future. And I know there's a certain 2-year-old in Washington State in the McGregor family that is laughing their heads off right now.
Yeah, I got a
But
bone
no.
to pick. I got a bone to pick with Ian too. Now, Ian, we've been pretty good friends, So, the fact that your son is now sitting laughing at the computer, I'm really upset. But okay. All right. Now tell them what it is.
Back to our regularly scheduled program. So Paul, 116 represents, this is the farmer's sentiment going into the month of December, according to our friends at Purdue University and CME Group Ag Economics. They do a barometer every month, apparently, of what the growers are feeling, how they're feeling. And I guess 116 is what they're feeling going into December, which is down from 128 the month before. So, and according to the press release our friend sent out, said farmers are facing sharp rises in production costs, coinciding with fluctuating crop and livestock prices, the prospect of changing environmental and tax policy, uncertainty over COVID-19, as well as a host of other issues. So again, that is according to our friends at Purdue and CME, why growers are feeling a little less confident going into December than they were the previous month. So we'll have to see how the numbers hold up over the next few months, but their level of enthusiasm is down a little bit. So never good that, but you gave it the old college try, Paul. Again, I said it was a really hard number, but for that I apologize, but not for, of course, getting children across the country to laugh at you getting by.
I don't think you're a bit sorry. All that sounds like a typical day of farming is what it sounds like. Jeez. Yeah. But yeah, just a lot of the things are kind of lining up in a negative, which, we kind of expected with everything that's going on with the supply chain and the ripple effect that it's having. So
right. And again, and everybody, now that we're people are getting back out there to trade events, people are talking, of course, in person. And you got to believe, I know at ARA, there was a lot of talk about supply chain issues, logistic issues, worker issues. So if everyone's talking about these things, then when they come back and take a survey, they probably are feeling a little less positive than they were before they went to the show.
Absolutely. All right. So is that it? We wrapped up.
That is all I have this week.
Very good, sir. Well, I appreciate everyone out there joining us for this edition of CropLife Retail Week, and we will see you next week.
If you have questions or comments about today's episode of Retail Week, contact us by email or Twitter, or type your message in the comment section below.
Your feedback is important to us. We'll try our best to address your thoughts in next week's episode.
And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.